Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. We are doing something quite crazy this time. It's another Patreon reward video, and Philip came up with this brilliant idea of us playing a blindfold game. And this is really clever of him because I haven't played a blindfold game for ages, literally, and so I really don't know how it's going to go. But it's quite strange to play a blindfold game like this for two reasons. A, because it's not really blindfold, because A, I can see the moves, like the score sheet here, which is a huge advantage for the side who plays the blindfold game, because I can restart the game in my head all the time I want to. And number two, we were thinking about it, but we couldn't figure out a way how I could actually record it so that you guys see the pieces, but I don't. And I don't think that there is a way to do that. So, yeah, I apologize. You are guys now staring at a blank board while I'm playing out my moves, which I should probably call out so that maybe you can play through it while you're watching the video if you're really desperate to watch this. I don't know. So d4, knight f6, c4, e6, knight c3, bishop b4, knight f3, c5, bishop g5. What's a dodgy move? cd4, queen d4, another dodgy move. And now knight c6, attacking the queen on d4. And my next one is going to be queen a5, especially after queen d1. Hitting c3 and threatening with knight e4. So let's go queen a5. Now c3 is hanging, but I'm not really keen on taking it, to be honest. I'm more focused on playing knight e4 next. Actually, his best move now would have been bishop d2. Is it even queen c2? Okay, this is getting very iffy for white, because now I get to play d5, threatening d4, and if he plays e3, then after knight e4, the bishop can't go back to d2. So let's do d5. And anytime he takes an f6, I just take back with the pawn. And yeah, without his dark squared bishop, my domination on the dark squares is going to be very strong. Yeah, I'm quite happy for the time being. I've got full control of what's happening. So he did take me on f6, take him back. Now I have got d4 as a threat, but he can play now e3. Against which I can't see an immediate good move. I think c takes d5 was a mistake, because it opened up my bishop's diagonal. So for example, if he plays e3 now, I may be able to play bishop f5, although then bishop d3 is possible. Okay, so what will I do now after e3? But it was bishop g4. This is interesting. I thought I was way better than what it seems to be now. So cd, ed, e3. What am I missing here? So bishop f5, bishop d3. I can't see any tactics there. He played rook d1. Wow, that looks like a very sad move. Rook d1. Wow. Bishop g4 is the move I'm thinking about, mostly because I can't think of anything better. Can't see any tactics after d4, knight takes, rook takes. Bishop f5, pawn e4. Yeah, that's not looking good. The only problem is that bishop g4 might provoke e3. And then after bishop takes f3, pawn takes f3, queenside castles. It still looks like a mess. Let's do that. Can't think of anything better. Maybe I just should have played bishop e6 and then just take on a2. Which is very materialistic, but why the heck not? Because the other thing I didn't quite reckon with is that now he can play a3. Because now there is no pin on the a file anymore. So he's actually threatening to take my piece. And after something like bishop takes c3, queen takes, pawn takes... I don't fancy my pawn structure much. e3, yeah. Okay, I'm going to play adventurously. Hang on. So if I wanted to, I could still take on f3, takes back, and then queen a2. I still don't really fancy pinching material in such fashion, but for the record, it's doable. Or I can play d4, ed, bishop takes f3, pawn takes f3, castles queenside. Now that is something I do like. Yep. I like that variation a lot, actually. Yeah, let's do that. Can I start with castles and then after bishop e2 d4? Or then they have knight d4. Yeah, and this is hanging with check. Yeah, it's quite clever. I need to start with pawn up first. So let me check. So knight can't take because bishop d1. So ed is forced. Oh, wait a second. d4 allows queen e4 check. Shivers. Yeah, okay, I have to start with castle. I wish somehow you could see it on the corner of the screen somewhere here on the board what actually is happening. That would be really, really cool. But sadly not the case. Yeah, bishop e2 is what I'm expecting, and so once again the plan is bishop e2, bishop takes, pawn d4, ed, knight d4, king, the bishop and the queen, whilst awkwardly still maintaining the pressure on the c3 stuff, and that seems to me to be borderline winning. He says he's hoping it's getting blurry. So yeah, once again, bishop e2, bishop takes f3, bishop takes d4. Now bishop takes c6 is not good due to d takes c3. So they have to take on d4, knight takes d4 back. Where would the queen go? Maybe queen d3 is not as horrid as it may look, because then knight f3 is met by queen f3. So I would actually play rook he8 check, king f1, and only take on f3. Queen takes back. Bishop takes c3. Rook d8, queen d8, pawn takes back on c3, queen d2, pawn g3, and we failed. I will have to come up with a better line there. Okay, I'm going to add him some time. Yeah, I still think bishop e2 is his best. Was played, yep. So let's go and take on d4. Whatever takes back, so I can essentially pre-move it. So what will I do after d4, e, d, knight, d, queen, d3? Oh, maybe knight b5. Or some fancy knight move that attacks the knight on c3. Actually, I found the win there in that line after queen d3, rook e1 check, king f1, knight f3, queen f3. I have got queen a6 check. With back rank mate to follow or close. What? Did I miss something here? Actually, this line is a good explanation of why I should have stuck in this check first. It's because now he can castle. Yeah, so he's an exchange down now, but I have got some structural issues and some tactical ones too, because now the knight is threatening to move away. So I'm kind of tempted to take it. But after b3, bc3, rook c4, rook b1, there's this very awkward threat. On b7. That was a very good practical exchange sacrifice, which is why after ed I should have played rook he8 check and only then take on d4. That was silly. Actually, I could play king b8 too. But then knight e4, rook c8, queen e2, queen a2. Actually, yeah, let's do that. I'd rather do that than taking on c3. So now my plan is simply to swing the other rook to c8 and then bang, take on c3. Excuse me, my wife turned on the music, so we need to shut the house down. back. Alright, let's eat chocolate because that's good for us in some ways that humankind couldn't quite figure out yet. Probably I shouldn't chew in the mic. Right. 92. Bonkers, I didn't see that. But is this any good? Don't I have rook d2? Oh, he's gonna play queen e4. Selling me some cheap tricks. Oh well. All good. Yeah, queen e4, queen b6, defending the mate. And now I'm threatening to take b2. He's going to play probably a3 against which I would love to drop back to c5, but after bishop, pawn b4, the bishop is a bit. Oh, then bishop f2 check, and if rook f2, rook d1 mate. Oh, wow! And it's happening. Look at that. Please play b4. How beautiful is that? Wow. I would be so happy if he fell for that, not because of, you know, I'm. Oh, shivers. Shite. Oh no, it's all good. Actually, yeah. I've got both queen d6 and rook d6. Temporary panic got the better of me. It's all good. It's all good, folks. It's totally a-okay. So what he should do now really is to swing back to e4, renewing the mate threat. Which is a tad bit annoying, to be perfectly honest, because I really would like to go back to b6 against that, but then again he checks me on f4. So I'm not quite sure yet how I would respond to queen e4. Yeah, maybe just drop back to d7 with the intention of rook e8. But then again, after queen f4 check, f6 is hanging too. Yeah. Oh, I could play queen e7. That's a bit annoying too, because it offers an unpleasant swap. Yeah, let's do that. Queen e7. But what about if queen f4 check then? Yeah. Most of my moves are such that they will allow him to swing back and forth. Okay, I want to provoke him a little bit. Let's see what he does if I go back. Knight c3. Didn't he just blunder f2? Yeah, he did. Okay. He has to take it, otherwise discover check dramas will happen. And after bishop takes king h1, I was planning a rook e1, which is really dirty down on the back rank. Quite a good quality game, really, from Phillip. Like, we just analyzed a few of his games where he didn't notice far more simple tactics than stuff that he was using here. I might turn it into some sort of inside my head analysis where I explain what went through my head in this game when I was playing it. Going for, yeah, queen b7, that's a blunder, because after bishop takes I just play rook check, and yeah, he's losing a rook. That is gonna hurt him a lot. So now he has nothing better than rook f2, and after rook takes f2 we renewed the threat. The bishop is still hanging. It's a disaster. I don't think that he reckoned with that. He only saw that check there. Rook f2, knight e4 is only now, hitting the rook and the bishop. And I will just play rook c2 check, knight takes, rook takes, and he's dead. Bishop is still hanging on b7. And I'm just hunting pawns now. Actually, I should play rook g3 and eliminate the bishop. It makes my calculation easier. Also take on h7, but it's an irrelevant pawn. Actually, I want to push his king back a bit, so I will play rook d5 with the intention of rook check and then forcing it further down and down. Yeah, king e4 will give a check here. Yep, check here. Rook across. Hitting the bishop, hitting the pawn. H3. What about this, buddy? And now I'm just going to electric fence, checkmate him. GG. So I will take rook back and then, yeah, usual jazz. We'll play king f3. Yep, rook across. King across. Rook up. Whatever. And mate next. GG. Alright, shall we go on for one more? Oh no. Oh yeah, I think so. He says... Alright folks, well that was it then. Thanks a lot for watching it. I don't know how I will publish it or what will happen with this because it's a blank board, so yeah. And my movie editing skills are very limited, so I don't really know what to make of this, but yeah, we'll go from there. We'll see. Alright, thanks a lot guys. Actually no, I know what I'm gonna do. I will press analysis board now. That's it. And I will go through now my thought process. So here bishop g5 is not really a good move because the bishop is needed to sort of deal with this threat on a5 and c3 and also across the fifth. And after takes, he really should have taken with the knight, but that only highlights the deficits of playing this bishop move early, because now I'm hitting here and hitting here too. So he opted for taking with the queen. I went knight c6 here, queen out, and d5. And I honestly am telling you that I wouldn't play any differently with seeing the board. I was considering here knight e4, which I don't think I called out, but I rejected it because of queen takes, bishop takes, and then bishop d2. Which is a cool motive to avoid further material loss. So I went for d5, tuck, 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 and now d4 is threatened. Rook d1 is clumsy here. e3 was necessary, and this would have been a far better version of the game from his point of view. I was considering here bishop f5, and I did call it out, but I didn't see how to deal with bishop d3, and I still don't. So against this, I think my best bet would have been something like here, here, castles, but yeah, it's not as good as it should be. After rook d1, however, things quickly turned to my favor because now I am ahead in the tempo. Bishop g4, e3, castles, and this is where I made my grief error, that in this position, and I saw it, I did see it, and I was considering the check before taking on knight d4, because really against this the best is king f1, and after knight d4 queen here, my intention was that I called out was to check, check, check here. And now knight e2 is not possible because of the back rank mate. So they have to come here. And in my calculations, I stopped somewhere hereabouts, which was probably a bit premature. Because, first of all, I didn't see that after takes you can take with check. And second of all, I saw it after this I had made, but I didn't see the finish off after this. And quite possibly I may not have one here. I mean, granted, my position is winning, don't get me wrong. For example, takes queen e2 is 100% winning rook ending. Because, yeah, like, that's not even funny how sad his structure is. So yeah, but there might be... Oh, actually, hang on, I'm talking rubbish. Queen... Oh no, I can't go to e3 because then he blocks back here. And if I do something funky like queen d6 here, then queen g4 check is annoying, and that gives him enough time to then play g3. So maybe queen a4 is a cute way to go about this mate threat, because not only does it attack the queen, but it also denies queen g4. That's clever. I like that. And now if the queen chooses to go here, then I can deliver the deadly blow with queen c2, or if he then also queen c2 and mate is coming. So that would have been the finish off, and instead I greedily took this, and then he took it. That was a brilliant resource. Only way to stay in the game. Take castles, and I'm so glad I didn't take it. I was really seriously considering this. First of all, I would have blundered into this, because I didn't see this. Now I'm seeing it right away as I'm looking at the board. I was only reckoning with rook b1, but even that was a bit frustrating, so I eventually decided that I just duck out of this motif and swing across with the other rook and win easily. And then here, yeah, for a second my heart skipped a beat here on this check, because I thought I lost my rook, and then I realized that I had both rook d6 and queen d6. The trick I was hoping for to use was that he would play b4, and after check takes I had a mate down here. That's what I also called out during the game, but I couldn't quite do it because he didn't play b4. So he went, and here actually he lacked a little bit of logic in his play, because after the check, queen e4 here, he should have just gone back to f4 and go like, alright buddy, well, I'm an exchange down, draw is a draw. And I would have struggled here, because after queen c7 I was really worried about this. And I thought I had this fancy line, which I didn't call out, but I calculated it in my head of take. Well, I may have actually called it out. Take, here, take, and then I get mated in the end. Otherwise, it's super fancy, but it doesn't quite work. But now that I'm looking at it, I'm actually being a bit cray-cray, because I can start like this. And after whatever takes back, I can take and take, because now the mate is not there. Okay, so maybe this wouldn't have been that bad, queen c7, and then go from here. But he went for broke here with knight c3, rook f2. And yeah, he should have taken king here. And my plan was rook d1. But yeah, it's still not the end of the story. In fact, probably I should take here actually instead of rook d8. But rook d8 is somewhat more logical and consistent in bringing the last dude into the game. But yeah, he went for this queen sack down here, or rather I should say that whatever exchange sack or whatever it is. But the problem is that instead of me taking it back after rook f3 check, I just win the house. And for that matter, any rook check on the f file would have come to the same effect. And I think I may have missed a couple of faster finish offs here than what I did in the game, but I reckon it was quite consistent actually. Yeah, this was silly. Yeah, rook g5 here was weird. To be honest with you, I didn't realize that he had the pawn on h3. And I actually thought that yeah, up to this point I wasn't aware of the fact. Oh, wow. Okay, to be perfectly honest with you, I blundered this. In my head, this pawn didn't exist. Which was ridiculously stupid, because he just moved it right here. And then 2 moves later, it didn't exist in my head. That is embarrassing. Like, that should not have happened. And I'm not quite sure whether Phillip felt merciful there or he didn't. I don't know. I mean, I would have won it anyway, because I knew that there was nothing else on the board except I didn't remember the pawn there. But hey, I think that was fun. I really did enjoy it. Yeah, it was good fun. I think that was actually a quality way to do a Patreon reward. I don't want to brag, but it feels like I still have it. I mean, honestly, I haven't played a Blindfold game for more than 10 years, so I was a bit worried about me being rusty, but in the end it turned out quite okay. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to be part of the same fun, please consider becoming my patron, and other than that, I hope to see you back here with more videos. Thanks for watching. Bye.